Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Global Forbidden Land. Only I contract Konoha Genin. Chapter 1. Konoha Genin is recognized as garbage. I'm about to enter the first forbidden area, so nervous. Yeah, I hope I can contract a strong ability this time so that I can cope with the college entrance examination. I heard that last time, someone signed a contract with the fog shadow technique that will never be cut again, and was directly recruited. That's right, as long as you don't contract Konoha Genin, Konoha's Genin is basically the tail of a crane. As for those Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Neji who have special abilities, the difficulty of contracting is higher than that of Jonin. Yeah, the special vortex Naruto, although it is Genin, but even chakra can't control it well. Suyu woke up from his sleep when he heard the discussion around him. He was dumbfounded. Do not chop again. Isn't that the small boss in the early stage of Hokage? But what does this have to do with the college entrance examination? Looking around at the students in school uniforms, Suyu was a little confused. Suddenly, pain came in my mind. Pictures of countless memories flooded into Suyu's mind. I crossed over. A long time. Suyu received all the memories, and he realized what happened. It turned out that he was no longer in the original world. Instead, he came to a whole new world where spiritual energy was revived. Countless powerful ferocious beasts are eyeing humans. Human beings can only protect themselves with the help of city walls and those who are strong among humans. Here, there are countless forbidden places. Strong human beings can gain strength through the forbidden area. Forbidden places exist throughout the world. Some forbidden places are extremely dangerous, and those who enter them are close to death. And some forbidden places are very safe. The forbidden area that Suyu and the others are about to enter is a safe forbidden area. The forbidden area is called Hokage, where you can make a contract with a character selected in Hokage. As long as the contract is successful, one of the ninja's abilities can be obtained. All people who have reached the age of 18 have 3 opportunities to contract. These 3 contract opportunities can be used to contract the same person, or 3 different people. However, whether the contract is successful or not depends on you. Some people have contracted the ability to never cut, but what they inherit is only the sword technique of never cut. In this dangerous world, an ordinary knife technique is obviously not enough to fight against the beast. But someone can contract the fog shadow technique that will never be cut again. Then slowly improve the strength, and finally fully master the fog shadow technique. After a while. Students, today is the day you enter the forbidden area of Hokage. A middle-aged male teacher walked into the classroom. His voice interrupted Suyu's meditation. I hope everyone can get a good result in the next forbidden area. I think all the students, during the class, have a good understanding of the abilities of the characters in the forbidden area of Hokage. I suggest that everyone not choose Kakashi and Jonin, who has strong ninjutsu abilities like Zabusha. The stronger the character you choose, the less likely it is to fit in. Although there are quite a few chances to meet 3 times, the success rate of the contract is not high. Even if it is a contract with the same person, it is likely to fail. Ninjutsu is basically the most important ability in Hokage. I suggest that everyone use these 3 opportunities to contract a Chunin like Iruka. The chance of gaining ninjutsu ability will be greater. Genin can also be selected. The Genin of Sunagakur and Kurigakure have outstanding ninjutsu abilities. The success rate of contracting Genin is 30%, but the probability of contracting a good ability is not high. Especially Konoha's Genin, I suggest that you don't choose it. I think everyone should know why. The middle-aged teacher's voice just fell. A classmate echoed. Yes, Konoha Genin is the tail of the crane. Most of their ninjutsu abilities are mediocre. Then Naruto, he can't even control his own chakra. Rock Lee doesn't even know ninjutsu, only some boxing kung fu. That's right, most of Konoha Genin are mediocre, but Sasuke and Hyuga Neji, who have unique abilities, are more difficult to contract than Jonin. The students were all laughing at this time. Obviously, in their opinion, Konoha Genin is basically not worth contracting. And Suyu is also laughing. However, he was sneering. Hehe. Vortex Naruto is the tail of the crane. In the Hokage world, only ninjutsu is worthy of a contract. As a time traveler, Suyu has naturally watched Hokage, and he likes this anime very much. Watched it over and over again. Vortex Naruto sealed 9 tails, which made it difficult for chakra to condense in the early stage. In the early stage, Naruto was a bit weaker, but he is the son of Baman Feng Shui and Shin Junai. Regardless of the ninjutsu talent, just the strong vitality inherited from the Uzumaki clan, after sealing the 9 tails, they are still alive and kicking. It is enough to prove Naruto's outstanding physique. In the later stage, it became a generation of Hokage. And that Rock Lee, although he doesn't know any ninjutsu, but he knows 8 inner gates. That was a physical technique that almost kicked out the finale. Konoha Genin. This word has become synonymous with the tail of the crane in this world. It's really ignorant. These people contract Jonin, although they can gain ninjutsu ability, but the strongest ability in Hokage is not just ninjutsu. Now, Suyu is the only one who knows the details of Konoha Genin. 3 opportunities to contract. If you contract Jonin, I can't guarantee success. But, bond Genin, maybe I can bond 3 at a time. 3 Genins with great potential. Suyu smiled. He couldn't control others, but in his heart, he already had his own goals. Rock Lee, Uzumaki Naruto, and Uchiha Sasuke. I want to see how wonderful the 8 inner gates, the vitality of the Vortex clan, and the Sharingan will bring to this world. Of course, for the real situation of Konoha Genin. Suyu will definitely not tell others. Let's not mention whether people will believe what he said. The key point is that he can't explain the origin of the information when he speaks out. In this world, there is no Hokage anime. The teacher just said that the success rate of contract Genin is as high as 90%. Maybe, I can really make a contract with 3 people. A gleam of light flashed in Suyu's eyes. Okay, students, Konoha Genin is a big hole in the contract. Most people are mediocre, not as good as Sunagakur and Kurigakur's ninjas. The Gaara of Sunagakur, although a Genin, is not weaker than Chunin, even comparable to Jonin. Kurigakur's Shiro is also extremely strong. As for Konoha's Hyuga Neji, although he has white eyes, the contract is too difficult. And that Uchiha Sasuke, so far, no one has successfully contracted. The teacher's voice is very dignified. Although he has a special Sharingan, Jonin Kakashi also has it, and Kakashi's ninjutsu ability is far superior to Sasuke's. Even if you don't contract with Sharingan, you can still get good ninjutsu abilities. The middle-aged teacher is explaining to everyone little by little all the precautions about contract ninjas. He clearly explained the advantages and disadvantages of every ninja who can be contracted. All the students listened carefully. Although Suyu already had a goal in mind, he also listened carefully. It appears that Hokage is only just getting started. That is, just after Naruto became Genin. Suyu is very clear that there are many strong people in Hokage, and naturally they are more than the people the teacher said. Not to mention Otsutsuki Kagaya, just say that Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama are bug-level characters. It's a pity that such a character is not on the contract list. Wait until the teacher has explained the advantages and disadvantages of all ninjas. His tone became serious. These messages are all messages left by generations of predecessors. They used their lives to explore forbidden places everywhere, just to let human beings gain stronger power. The reason why you can enter the forbidden area is precisely because countless ancestors of the human race used their lives to resist the beasts. The opportunity of the contract is obtained by the sacrifice of countless people. I hope that you will not waste any opportunity. The eyes of the middle-aged teacher looked at a kind of student. He sighed and said, "The ancestors of countless human races built a high wall with their blood and lives to protect us. If we don't work hard enough, the sacrifices of our ancestors will be meaningless. So, I hope you can cherish this hard-won opportunity. Target Chunin for deeds, and if you feel confident, try Jonin too. The worst thing is to contract Genin other than Konoha. Only by successfully contracting can you have a chance to become a strong one." Hearing this, the class fell silent. Although Suyu is not interested in the so-called Chunin and Jonin in the contract. But he also knew how terrifying the beasts in this world were. Although there are strong people among human beings, the number is far less than that of powerful beasts. In Suyu's memory, there was once a beast tide. This time, 3 9-star beast lords appeared in the beast tide. The extremely sturdy city was crushed into powder under the sharp claws of the 9-star beast. The 9-star powerhouse among humans resisted desperately and once repelled the fierce beast. However, a fierce beast that has always been above the level of 9 stars appeared, and with just one blow, it destroyed the human 9-star powerhouse, along with the city. In the end, the whole city was turned into purgatory and a paradise for ferocious beasts. Up to now, that city has not been taken back. Everyone should still remember that beast tide. In that beast tide, we humans killed 2 9-star powerhouses, and Yangcheng was reduced to ashes. In that battle, the 13 million soldiers and civilians in Yangcheng became the souls of the minions of ferocious beasts. Human beings are too weak, so, classmates, I hope that you can cherish this hard-won opportunity. Having said that, the middle-aged teacher looked at the time. Now, it's time to go to the forbidden area, he said. Everyone come with me. Under the leadership of middle-aged teachers, Suyu, a group of senior high school students got on the bus. The forbidden area of Hokage is the origin of the entire human race, and each city has a branch of the forbidden area. This is the branch of the forbidden area created by the strong human beings. All the windows on the bus were covered with black cloth. Only the driver's position can see the outside environment, while Suyu and his group are behind the bus. It is separated from the driver by a black board. It's a protection. A kind of protection for forbidden places. The country attaches great importance to every forbidden area, especially the forbidden area of Hokage. There is no danger, and it is a forbidden area that can enlighten the strong. The location of each forbidden area is kept secret, on the one hand to protect the students, and on the other hand to imitate being destroyed. Among human beings, there are always some people who betray the human race and destroy the forbidden land for their own selfish desires. Over the years, there have been several human traitors who joined the camp of ferocious beasts. The intelligence possessed by high-level ferocious beasts is not inferior to that of humans, and this is also their means of weakening humans. Soon, there was silence on the bus. The forbidden area of Hokage has arrived. After getting off the bus, Suyu's eyes suddenly came into contact with the light from the pitch-dark environment, and he was still not quite used to it. He blinked his eyes to get rid of the soreness. Here, it should be underground. Suyu was on the bus just now, and could feel the bus driving towards the ground. In sight, a huge steel gate. In front of the iron gate, many armed men guarded it. Don't run around, come with me. An armed man stood up, and he shouted at the crowd. This is a forbidden area after all, and it may be dangerous for you to go to some places. As he said that, the armed man asked someone to open the steel gate. Come in. The crowd followed the armed man through the steel gate and came to a huge square. Ahead is the forbidden area of Hokage. When you walk up to the altar, you will naturally have a choice in your mind. Choose your target person, try to communicate the contract, and if the contract is successful, you can obtain their abilities. A total of 3 chances. If you fail all 3 times, you will lose the chance to contract. The armed man said slowly. Suyu listened to the words of the armed men and looked towards the square. On the square, there is a black steel altar. On the altar, someone is already making a contract at this time. A student, under the guidance of the teacher, walked up to the altar. Afterwards, rays of light flashed across his body, and he walked out again. They had deep helplessness on their faces. Obviously, the contract failed. Although everyone has 3 opportunity contracts, the success rate is not high. Except for Genin, which has a 30% success rate, Chunin has a 5% success rate. Jonin's success rate is less than 1%. Especially after the contract, the ability is also obtained randomly. The probability of contracting a strong combat power is extremely small. Purple. And the pattern of Konoha. This is a contract with Konoha Genin. More than that, this person has a shuriken pattern on his body. Obviously, this person has obtained ninjutsu related to shuriken. Someone made a contract with Konoha Genin. Suddenly, an exclamation came. I saw a girl on the altar with a purple light emitting from her body. And behind her, there are 2 patterns, one of which is the logo of Konoha, and the other is the pattern of shuriken. Soon, Suyu saw a group of people approaching the girl, apparently asking for something. Seeing this scene, Suyu thought silently in his heart. It appears that the purple ray represents Jonin. And the pattern can also tell which village's ninja is contracting. It can even be seen which aspect of the ability of the contract. I also don't know what kind of pattern genin and physical abilities will be. Soon, in about half an hour, it was finally Su Yu's class turn. The middle-aged teacher urged again at this time. Everyone listen, if you can contract a chunin, contract a chunin. If you fail to contract chunin once, remember to contract the genin of Sunagakur and Kurigakur. Even genin, as long as he has ninjutsu ability, he has a chance to become a strong man. Everyone nodded. Obviously they all have goals in mind. Although the 3 contract opportunities are not good, there are also trade-offs. Take 3 chances to fight for a chance to contract Jonin, or take 3 chances to contract Genin. It's all personal choice. Next, Su Yu. The armed men called Su Yu's name. Su Yu nodded and walked up to the altar. The moment Su Yu stepped onto the altar, his consciousness instantly became a little unconscious. When he shook his head and woke up, everything around him had changed. Is this Hokage's world? Why is it pure white and nothing? Su Yu looked around and found that he had come to a pure white space. At this moment, streaks of light and shadow appeared. It was the images of countless ninjas that appeared in front of Su Yu. Please select the target person you want to meet. Accompanied by an electronic prompt, the images of those ninjas were clearly displayed in front of Su Yu. Su Yu didn't look at those so-called Jonin. Also didn't look at Kurigakur and the ninjas from other villages. Instead, he looked at Konoha Genin's area. Soon, a thick-browed ninja in green clothes with bandaged hands appeared in front of Su Yu. Rock Lee, one of Konoha 12 Little Powers. Although in the plot, except for the opening and hanging once in the early stage, there are no wonderful performances later. However, he is a student of the Might Guy and has 8 inner gates. 8 inner gates, it can be said that it is one of the best physical skills in Hokage. It's a pity that people in this world don't know anything about goods, they only know how to pursue ninjutsu. Su Yu suppressed the excitement in his heart and directly chose Rock Lee. Next moment, in the pure white space, the figure of Rock Lee appeared. Rock Lee's youthful figure stood in front of Su Yu. He looked at Su Yu, and suddenly said, "Why did you choose me? I don't know any ninjutsu or illusion, I only have physical skills." Su Yu froze for a moment. Sure enough, as the teacher said, if you want to contract a ninja, you must get the ninja's approval. Su Yu realized that this question was crucial, as it was related to whether he could succeed in the contract. Su Yu reviewed Rock Lee's character in Hokage. He thought of that classic line from Rock Lee. So, he said, because, I want to prove in my world that even if you don't know ninjutsu or illusion, you can become a strong person. I want to obtain your physical skills and become a strong man to guard my world. The words just fell. Rock Lee's eyes lit up. It's like seeing a confidant. Yes, I also want to prove that even if you don't know ninjutsu or genjutsu, you can become an excellent ninja. This is the whole of my life. This is my way of ninja. In this case, then I will hand over my physical skills to you. As soon as the words fell, Rock Lee's figure disappeared. And a white light also merged into Su Yu's body. Congratulations! You have successfully contracted with Konoha Genin Rock Lee, and obtained the physical skill, 8 inner gates. 8 inner gates. It is possible to obtain extremely strong strength by opening the body's restrictions. Depending on the degree of opening, it will cause varying damage to the body. And this is just the beginning of Su Yu's contract. Su Yu had 3 chances to contract, and 2 were not used. Subsequently, Su Yu selected the image of Uzumaki Naruto. This time, with Rock Lee's contract experience. The moment Naruto appeared, Su Yu said, "Naruto, I know you, you play so many pranks, just to win the attention of others, you are very painful. I know, because I'm your kind of person, and I know, you want to be Hokage. Just like me, I also want to be strong, so I need to make a contract with you to obtain your strength." Naruto was stunned. It was the first time he met a contractor like Su Yu. But he nodded, and at that moment, Naruto's body turned into white light. Congratulations! You have successfully contracted with Konoha Genin Uzumaki Naruto, and obtained the physique, Uzumaki body. The body of Uzumaki possesses super vitality. With the success of the contract, a smile appeared on Su Yu's face. You know, the physique of the Uzumaki family is also extremely strong in Hokage. Naruto has a strong vitality. After sealing the 9 tails, he can still be alive and kicking. Especially after going through so many battles with serious injuries, he can be safe and sound. Even if it is because of the aura of the protagonist, the physique of the Uzumaki clan also played a big role in it. Finally, Tsuyu turned his attention to the last character, Uchiha Sasuke. At the moment, Tsuyu chose Sasuke without hesitation. Sasuke's figure appeared in front of Tsuyu. Sasuke, with a cold face, said nothing, and had no intention of opening. Obviously there is no meaning of contract. This is also the reason why Sasuke has never had a successful contract with anyone. However, in Tsuyu's view, it is naturally very simple for Sasuke to speak. Sasuke, do you want to know the truth about how the Uchiha clan will not be wiped out? If you want, make a contract with me, I need your Sharingan, and I will tell you the truth. The truth about Uchiha Itachi. Sure enough, as Tsuyu expected, after he told Sasuke the truth, he has successfully contracted Sasuke. Congratulations! You have successfully contracted with Genin Uchiha Sasuke, and obtained Sharingan. Sharingan. Eyes with super pupil power, great potential for evolution. After Tsuyu made a contract with Sasuke, he couldn't help showing a smile. All 3 of his targets have successfully contracted. At this time, an electronic beep sounded. Congratulations to host for getting 100% approval from the contract characters. Ding! Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Rock Lee will no longer appear in the contract list. While Tsuyu's contract was successful. Outside the altar, some of those classmates exclaimed, "Look, Tsuyu's contract has been successful." Hearing this, the middle-aged teacher was a little surprised, and immediately looked towards the altar. I saw a white light appeared on Tsuyu's body on the altar. White light. Tsuyu contracted Genin. That's right, if you don't have the confidence to contract Chunin, choosing to contract Genin is also very good. However, when the pattern of Konoha appeared on Tsuyu's body, the middle-aged teacher's face became a little ugly. This Tsuyu, could it be Konoha Genin who made the contract? How many times have I said, don't waste the opportunity to make a contract? This Tsuyu, why did you contract Konoha Genin? At this time, patterns representing the 8 inner gates, Uzumaki's body and Sharingan appeared on the white light. Physique. And an unknown physique pattern. This is not ninjutsu. This Tsuyu, is it possible that he is crazy? And Sharingan, is it possible that this Tsuyu contracted from Uchiha Sasuke? But the Sharingan alone can only be used as an auxiliary, not as good as a powerful ninjutsu. Just when everyone was talking about it, on the altar, Tsuyu's eyes opened. In the eyes, the constantly rotating single hook jade, and the continuous vitality from the body, announcing the success of Tsuyu's contract. Tsuyu wakes up. The face of the middle-aged teacher suddenly became a little ugly. Especially after hearing everyone's discussion. This Tsuyu, is he sick? Why did he contract Konoha Genin? Yeah, contract Konoha Genin, isn't that thankless? Tsuyu walked down from the altar. Only then did he realize that the people around him were really talking about him. However, he didn't care. Konoha Genin, in the eyes of people in this world, is recognized as the tail of the crane. Contracting Konoha Genin is completely thankless behavior. Although Tsuyu can understand that in the early stage of Hokage, the strength of Konoha Genin is indeed not as good as other villages. However, the 3 people contracted by Tsuyu all have great potential. Therefore, Tsuyu doesn't care about other people's opinions at all. Uzumaki's body and Sharingan plus 8 inner gates. The powerful vitality of Uzumaki's body, combined with the 8 inner gates, maybe one day Tsuyu will be able to maintain the normal 8-gate state. In front of Tsuyu, who has Sharingan with unlimited evolution possibilities, it is completely a broad and bright road. At that time, even if these people have contracted some powerful ninjutsu, when the Tsuyu 8 gate is fully open, it is not certain whether it can be held for a while. Tsuyu, how many times have the teacher and you emphasized, don't waste experience to contract Konoha Genin? Since you can contract 3 Genin, why not try to contract a stronger Jonin or Chunin? The angry figure of the middle-aged teacher came, and he walked up to Tsuyu. There was deep incomprehension in his eyes, as well as a hint of indisputable sadness. You can successfully contract 3 genins, and even contract Uchiha Sasuke, which shows that you are talented. But now, you have contracted 3 Konoha Genins, you are wasting your talent. Suyu heard the teacher's words and didn't panic at all. He said, "Teacher, I believe in my choice, and I believe that the 3 Konoha Genins I contracted will bring me great potential." After finishing speaking, Suyu stopped answering. What he wants to do most now is to leave the forbidden area and test his abilities. He walked towards the steel gate, planning to leave the forbidden area. At this time, a mocking sound came. Suyu is probably useless, but he is quite confident. That was Suyu's classmate, a student named Lind who contracted the Mist Shinobi technique. "I thought you could contract 3 ninjas, the talent must be very good. It's a pity that the 3 ninjas you contracted are all Konoha Genin, and they are so confident. Now it seems that you are not worthy to be my opponent at all." Hearing this, Suyu turned around and said to Lind, "If you don't cut the fog shadow technique, it's an assassination method. Falling into the hands of a villain like you is completely a secret investment. It seems that the so-called contract recognition is not so reliable." After speaking, Suyu got on the bus. Gone with the others who ended the contract. Now he just wants to go back to the training room earlier to study his own abilities. Soon, Suyu went back to school. The first thing he did was to go to the school's training room. Every school will be equipped with a training room, the purpose is to guard against student patrols. Even those who failed the contract can still exercise themselves in the training room, and have a little more chance of surviving in this last world. Open the personal properties panel. Along with Suyu thought. Suddenly, an attribute panel that only Suyu could see appeared in front of his eyes. This is the ability that every successful contractor will obtain. It records Suyu's current physical attributes. Name: Suyu. Race: human. Constitution: 10. Spirit: 10. Strength: 15. Dexterity: 12. Ability: 8 inner gates. Lineage: Uzumaki's body, Sharingan Dan Guyu. Note: normal people have the 4-symbol attribute 10. This is Suyu's existing attributes. The powerful vitality brought by Uzumaki's body will continue to strengthen Suyu's own state. Exuberant vitality can just solve the disadvantages of 8 inner gates. I didn't care about other things. The first thing Suyu did was to open the 8 inner gates. Open the door, open. Accompanied by Suyu's soft drink, the first gate of 8 inner gates opened. The open gate is the first gate in 8 inner gates and represents entry. But even the opening of the entry door can remove the limitations of the brain domain, so as to achieve the purpose of fully exerting the maximum capacity of the body. Suyu only felt that the limitations of his own body had been broken. The human body has self-limitation. The purpose is to protect the human body from excessive force and hurt itself. It is difficult for anyone to exert their best strength. While opening the door, you can freely control the strength of your body and fully exert your own strength. Suyu felt that his own strength was stronger than before. Afterwards, he sipped again. Shut the door, open. The second gate in the 8 inner gates is also opened. The exhaustion from opening the door disappeared at this moment. The ability of Shuman is to relieve the fatigue of one's own physical strength, and the super high load squeezes the body's energy and restores physical strength. Properties panel, open. Suyu has checked the properties panel. Name: Suyu. Race: human. Constitution: 60. Spirit: 60. Strength: 90. Agility: 72. Abilities: 8 inner gates, second gate, Hugh gate. Lineage: Uzumaki's body, Sharingan Dan Guyu. Just by opening the second gate, my physical fitness has reached 6 times that of ordinary people. Moreover, under the strong vitality of Uzumaki's body, there is basically no consumption in this state. Even, it can be my normal state. Also, maintaining the state of the second gate for a long time is also an exercise for myself. I don't even need to take the initiative to exercise. As long as I maintain the state of the second gate, my own attributes can continue to become stronger. A hint of surprise flashed in Suyu's eyes. He felt that he still had the strength to open the third gate, but he couldn't keep it and could only use it as a whole card. Suyu began to exercise in the state of second gate of 8 inner gates. With attributes 6 times higher than ordinary people, Suyu can easily use any equipment in the training ground. Soon, the workout is over. Suyu put 8 inner gates status off. The attributes on the panel are nearly double those of ordinary people before. As expected of the 8 inner gates. As expected of Uzumaki. With such a powerful training effect, I'm afraid it won't be long before the 3rd gate can be my normal state. Right now, the only thing lacking is combat experience and moves. The one Tomo Sharingan in Suyu's eyes began to spin continuously. The insights brought by one Tomo Sharingan should be able to help me learn some moves more easily. Suyu clearly remembered that the original commander used the 2 Tomo Sharingan to reproduce Shaoli's tricks. I have only been exercising for a while, and I didn't even use much force, and my physical fitness has doubled. I chose 8 inner gates in Uzumaki's body, and I was right. Suyu opened the 2nd gate state again. As long as I maintain the state of opening the 2nd gate, my body can continue to grow stronger under this extreme overload. If it were an ordinary person, it would be impossible to do this, but with the vitality of Uzumaki's body, I can keep the 2nd gate open all the time. Thinking of this, Suyu laughed. Maybe one day, with the vitality of Uzumaki's body, I can maintain the normal state of 8 gate. Back home, Suyu lives alone. He is a survivor of the beast tide and has no family. He took a shower first, and then felt a burst of hunger in his abdomen. It seems that the 8 inner gates consume a lot of energy on the body, and the vitality of Uzumaki's body also needs energy supplementation. At that moment, Suyu picked up his phone, ordered takeaway and ate. This meal ate up Suyu's living expenses for half a month. Maintaining a normal 2nd gate consumes a lot of energy for the body, but it also strengthens the body to a high degree. Naturally, Suyu didn't care about this little shortcoming. Next few days, Suyu goes to the school training hall every day and keeps exercising. Suyu of 2nd gate, who has been maintaining a normal state, has improved his physical fitness rapidly. Also, the proficiency of 8 inner gates is getting higher and higher. 8 inner gates 3rd gate, Shungmin. Open. In the school training hall, it was already late at night, and Suyu stood alone in the corner. Accompanying, he silently recited in his heart. The 3rd gate of the 8 inner gates will also be opened. As the 3rd gate, Shungmin is the last safe area of 8 inner gates. In the Shungmin state, Suyu's whole body began to congest and turn red. A faint green energy condensed around Suyu's body. The quality of all aspects of the body will be further improved, reaching the maximum value without losing itself. This is the life gate of 8 inner gates. Open the properties panel. Name: Suyu. Race: human. Constitution: 700. Spirit: 120. Strength: 700. Agility: 700. Ability: 8 inner gates 3rd gate, life gate. Lineage: Uzumaki's body, Sharingan Dan Guyu. In the state of 3rd gate, my physical fitness has reached 50 times that of ordinary people. Although 8 inner gates is a physical technique, it is not so strong for mental exercise. But I have opened the limit of the brain domain, and my mental strength is far beyond ordinary people in the state of Shungmin. Suyu closed his eyes, feeling the powerful force emanating from his body. Shungmin can't be used as a normal combat state yet, but it can be used as a whole card. Physical fitness 50 times higher than that of ordinary people is far from being as simple as shown on the panel. 50 times is an all-round transcendence. Whether it is muscle strength or skin strength, it is 50 times that of ordinary people. Such power is far from what the property panel can display. The next moment, Suyu looked at the training equipment in front of him. This is an instrument for testing strength. He lowered his body slightly. Make a fist with your right hand. Swing towards the target in front of you. After opening the 3rd gate, Suyu's control of every muscle in his body has reached a perfect state. Every muscle can be exerted perfectly under Suyu's control. Boom. The target was instantly shattered. On the instrument, there is also a display. 10,000 caddies. Ding. Your power has reached 3 stars. Please don't test it on this instrument. Accompanied by Suyu's punch. The green energy around him also dissipated. He undoes the status of the 2nd gate and returns to the 2nd gate. It seems that I can only last for 2 hours at most in the state of Shungmin. Feeling his own exhaustion, Suyu took a breath. Open the properties panel. Name: Su Yu. Race: human. Constitution: 300. Spirit: 120. Strength: 300. Agility: 300. Abilities: 8 inner gates, second gate, Hugh gate. Lineage: Uzumaki's body, Sharingan Dan Guyu. The current me, in the state of opening the life door, has the strength of a 3-star. If it is not opened, the normal second gate will only have 2 stars. All contractors are divided into 1 to 9 stars according to their strength. 1-star contractors have at least one physical attribute 10 times higher than ordinary people. 2-star contractors have at least one physical attribute that is 30 times better than ordinary people. The single attribute of Samsung is more than 60 times higher than that of ordinary people. However, 8 inner gates improves the attributes in an all-round way. Most of the contractors have reached the standard for a single attribute. As for me, except for the slightly weaker mental attributes, all other abilities can be improved without dead ends. Su Yu is going to rest. At this moment, his cell phone lit up. Someone Su Yu didn't expect sent him a message. Su Yu, I'm your class teacher. Although you have contracted Konoha Genin, I think you are still talented. Don't give up on yourself. I have a place in the auxiliary department of a second-rate martial arts university here. I think your Sharingan is quite suitable for the auxiliary system. Su Yu saw the message from his class teacher, that is, the middle-aged teacher. It was a bit of a surprise. That's a good teacher. After Su Yu contracted 3 Konoha Genins before, most people treated Su Yu with disdain. Although the middle-aged teacher was very angry, he was more mournful. Right now, it is obvious that he does not want to give up on Su Yu. I want to help Su Yu again. Martial Arts University. Su Yu murmured. Next morning, Su Yu came to the school to meet the middle-aged teacher. After the middle-aged teacher saw Su Yu coming, he sighed. He said, Su Yu, when you made a contract a few days ago, why did you contract Konoha Genin? Obviously, you have succeeded in all 3 contracts. You have such an outstanding talent, but it was wasted. The middle-aged teacher sighed. In his opinion, Su Yu's talent is extremely outstanding, although he has contracted Sharingan's good investigative ability. However, 2 contract opportunities were wasted. Well, although I don't know what you think, but you have Sharingan, it's not too bad. Here is the admission notice from Yangcheng University. With that said, the middle-aged teacher handed Su Yu an envelope. I've seen your hard work these days, but you, who have no ninjutsu ability, are still too weak after all. Even Sharingan's ability can't be fully utilized. Su Yu didn't explain it, and he couldn't explain it either. The middle-aged teacher continued. Su Yu, you have Sharingan, but you lack strong abilities. You don't have to think about the top 4 universities. Yangcheng University, although it is a second-rate university now, has a strong heritage. Although the auxiliary department is not as good as the martial arts department, it is also difficult to join. This is what the teacher worked so hard to get. You should cherish it. Su Yu was a little moved. In the eyes of the middle-aged teacher, Su Yu's choice is tantamount to wasting his talent. But even so, the teacher is still willing to help Su Yu. Thank you, teacher. Su Yu took the envelope. He thought silently in his heart. I definitely want to attend martial arts university, because only students of martial arts university can enter more forbidden places. Originally, I just wanted to apply for any martial arts university, but now there is Yangcheng University, which is a better choice. Yangcheng University. Su Yu has heard of this name. The former Yangcheng University was located in Yangcheng, the city that was destroyed by the beast above the 9 stars. Yangcheng University was also destroyed. The existing Yangcheng University was when the tide of fierce beasts struck. Warriors who go out to do missions and are not in Yangcheng. Reconstructed. The middle-aged teacher said again. Su Yu, you should know about Yangcheng University, right? When Yangcheng was not destroyed, the status of Yangcheng University was much higher than the current 4 top universities. Although the rebuilt Yangcheng University is a second-rate martial arts university, its background remains the same. Yangcheng University still has many forbidden places in its hands. The middle-aged teacher patted Su Yu on the shoulder, and he said, since you can successfully contract 3 times in one go, it means that you are talented in exploring the forbidden land. And Yangcheng University has a very large number of forbidden areas, more than the 4 universities, so it is especially suitable for you. A hint of surprise flashed in Su Yu's eyes. For him, the so-called Forbidden Land was a world formed by the novels, two-dimensional elements, and movies he had read. For others, the forbidden area may be very dangerous, but for Su Yu, who knows the plot, he can avoid the danger in the forbidden area. At that moment, Su Yu bowed deeply to the middle-aged teacher in front of him. He said, "Thank you, teacher." The middle-aged teacher shook his head. He said, "Don't thank me, I didn't do it because you are special. I just don't want to watch you spoil your talent, even if it wasn't for you, I would do it." In today's era, all human beings can only remain behind the city walls, living humble lives. You are the new force of mankind, and you have unlimited possibilities. The middle-aged teacher turned his head, and he looked deeply at Su Yu. He said, "I don't know why you chose 3 Konoha Genins for the contract, but the teacher is still willing to help you, new human forces like you. If you want to thank me, please do your best. Grow hard and don't waste your talent until you grow into a strong man and become the guardian of our humanity." A hint of reminiscence and deep sadness appeared on the face of the middle-aged teacher. "Teacher, I'm already old, and I don't have the ability to protect human beings anymore. The future of mankind lies in you, in every young man." Su Yu was stunned. He could feel that what the middle-aged teacher said was true. He helps Su Yu just to make the future of mankind better. "I will." Su Yu nodded. At this time, he deeply recorded the figure of the middle-aged teacher in his heart. He knew that people like the middle-aged teacher were just a microcosm of this era. It is precisely because of the countless people like the middle-aged teacher that human beings have survived under the threat of fierce beasts. "I will," Su Yu said to himself silently in his heart. A blink of an eye. 2 months passed quickly. Su Yu's physical fitness has already reached the limit of equipment training. At this time, it is the day when new students enter school. Anchang. Su Yu was carrying a travel bag and was standing at the gate of the registration point of Yangcheng Martial Arts University. Yangcheng Martial Arts University has a very special geographical location. Unable to go alone. After 2 months of training. At this moment, Su Yu's whole demeanor became more and more upright. Those well-proportioned and explosive muscles made him look a lot more confident. After 2 months of training, even if the 8 inner gates is not turned on, Su Yu's 4 attributes have reached 100 points. 10 times that of a normal person. If the second gate is turned on, Su Yu's physical fitness can reach 60 times that of ordinary people. Now I can perfectly use the third gate, and I can also use the third gate in a normal combat form. Once I open the third gate, my physical fitness can instantly surpass that of ordinary people by 100 times. That state has basically reached the level of the peak of Samsung. At this time, there were very few people at the registration point of Yangcheng University. Su Yu saw at a glance that there were only a dozen or so people. "Hi, are you here to report?" A woman with picturesque eyebrows came over. Seeing Su Yu, she said calmly, "Hi, are you here for school?" Su Yu nodded, and he took a confident look at the woman in front of him. He found that the woman in front of him was tall and slender, with excellent curves after long-term exercise. Between the brows, there is a 3-point heroic spirit. Su Yu nodded. The woman said again, "I am a junior senior, and my name is Duan Benglin. You go through the formalities at the registration point first, and when everyone is ready, I will take you to Yangcheng Martial Arts University." Su Yu asked, "Sister Duan, where is the location of our Yangcheng Martial Arts University?" Su Yu went through the formalities again and again, and consulted the senior sister about Yangcheng University. "You don't know." Duan Benglin frowned. She said, "Shouldn't you understand these things before applying for the exam? The location of Yangcheng University is outside the city wall to the east." Duan Benglin said lightly, "Outside the city wall? Is Yangcheng University not in the city?" Su Yu asked curiously. Duan Benglin nodded, and she said, "Of course I'm not here. 3,000 miles to the east of the city wall of Ancheng is the ruins of Yangcheng that was once destroyed by ferocious beasts. I, Yangcheng University, never gave up the name of Yangcheng University, precisely because, one day, we will subdue Yangcheng that once fell. The city wall is only the last line of defense to protect the city, and I, Yangcheng University, are the first line of defense on the east wall. Duan Binglan gave Su Yu a playful look. She said, even in ordinary study and life, students of Yangcheng University will face fierce beasts directly. The purpose is to train myself, and the purpose is to recover Yangcheng one day. Primary school brother, if you are afraid, there is still time to drop out of school. Once you join Yangcheng University, your identity is not only a student of Yangcheng University, but also a warrior of the East Wall of Anchang. At that time, if you shrink back, you will be dealt with according to law. Su Yu was a little surprised. He didn't know much about Yangcheng University. Does Yangcheng University control the most forbidden areas in the university? Duan Binglan nodded. She said, that's natural. Yangcheng University has a lot of forbidden areas, and you have a lot of opportunities, as well as a lot of dangers. Many forbidden places are exclusive to my Yangcheng University, and the most famous one is the forbidden place in Ghost Slayer, Blade. How about it, Junior? Have you thought it through? Are you enrolled? Su Yu didn't say much. Instead, he handed the admission notice to Duan Binglan. Of course I will enroll. My name is Su Yu, senior sister Duan. When Duan Binglan accepted the admission notice, she took a deep look at Su Yu. What she said just now, she would say to everyone who recklessly applied for Yangcheng University. Most people will choose to give up after learning about the situation of Yangcheng University. It is even rarer for people like Su Yu who don't even have much emotional fluctuation after knowing the real situation. Su Yu is not worried about the situation of Yangcheng University. His current strength is far superior to that before, and he can maintain the normal third gate, with the help of the vitality of Uzumaki's body. In times of crisis, the 8 inner gates can be opened to an extremely high level. The ferocious beasts around Anchang, with more than 5 stars, will be strangled by strong human beings. Therefore, the strongest beasts that Yangcheng University had to face were no more than 4 or 5 stars. Even if I lose to a 4 or 5 star beast, after opening the 8 inner gates, I can retreat calmly. In addition, the forbidden area of Ghost Slayer, Blade, is a forbidden area with many breathing techniques. If there are no accidents, the breathing method in the forbidden area of Demon Slayer, Blade, should be able to be used at the same time as the 8 inner gates. Duan Binglan interrupted Su Yu's thinking. She stretched out her hand and said, then welcome to Yangcheng University, Junior Su Yu. With Duan Binglan's help, Su Yu quickly completed the formalities. Duan Binglan waited at the registration point for a while, after confirming that there were no new students. Only then did Su Yu and the 10 or so people walk towards Yangcheng University. There is a road between the eastern city wall and Yangcheng University. This road was pioneered by the seniors of Yangcheng University. Generally speaking, there are no ferocious beasts, so if you have something to leave school, you can take this path. Su Yu asked curiously at this time, Senior Duan, are there only a dozen of us who are stumping this year's freshmen? Of course not, this is just one of the registration points, but the number of new students this year is not too many. I guess there are only 200 people. Duan Binglan replied. Soon, under the leadership of Duan Binglan, everyone passed through the city wall and came to Yangcheng University. Yangcheng University is located on the edge of the beast's territory. Although there are strong men guarding Yangcheng University, the roar of the beast startled the freshmen. Duan Binglan brought a group of freshmen to the playground of Yangcheng University. On the playground, many new students have gathered. In addition to new students, there are many old students. In the middle of the playground, there is a high platform. On the high platform, a man with a scar on his face is watching a kind of students below the stage. At this moment, he said, Hi, everyone. I am the principal of Yangcheng University, Li Yeshan. You choose to join my Yangcheng University, you must be very clear about the situation of our Yangcheng University. Li Yeshan scanned a new student on the playground. Until he saw Su Yu, he was taken aback for a moment, and then a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Just listening, Li Yeshan continued. Although my Yangcheng University is a second-rate university, in terms of treatment and benefits, it is not weaker than top universities. On the one hand, it is because our number is small enough, and on the other hand, it is because the number of our forbidden areas is the crime of all universities. Similarly, our university is more likely to encounter a crisis than other universities. So, in order for you to adapt to the crisis, you will have a greater chance of surviving after encountering a crisis in the future. I will let your seniors and sisters come and teach you. Li Yeshan showed a malicious smile. Our Yangcheng University has an unwritten rule. I think you've all heard. Now, all freshmen can choose an old student to compete with each other. Peaceful discussion. If you win, you will get 50 credits. It doesn't matter if you fail, there will be no punishment. As for old students, there will be 10 credits for victory. Hearing the word credits, the eyes of those old students flashed brightly. Su Yu noticed this scene, he said from the bottom of his heart. It seems that credits must be useful in Yangcheng University. Looking at the performance of these old students, 50 credits must not be a small amount. As for peaceful exchanges, it is clearly to let the old students abuse the new students. But complaining about complaining, Su Yu felt a little eager to try. He has been training for so long and has never actually fought. Okay, now all the freshmen can choose their opponents. The old students must not refuse, and the freshmen must not give up this opportunity. After speaking, Li Yeshan stood on the high platform with his hands folded, showing a look of watching the excitement. It was just his gaze, observing Su Yu and several other people among the freshmen intentionally or unintentionally. There are so many good seedlings in this class of freshmen. Li Yeshan said silently in his heart. Most freshmen are still hesitating. But Su Yu walked up to Duan Binglan, and he said, "Senior Duan, please compete with me." As soon as this word came out, the old students around all looked at Su Yu gloatingly. Interesting, this freshman class is really bold. How dare you challenge Duan Binglan, this freshman is really interesting. At the moment, those old students were all staring at Su Yu and Duan Binglan. Duan Binglan nodded. She silently took a wooden sword from the weapon rack on the edge of the playground. Brother Su Yu, I major in kendo. From the forbidden area of One Punch, the kendo of the S-class hero Atomic Samurai. What weapon do you use? The single hook jade in Su Yu's eyes quickly spun. Obviously observing Duan Binglan. Sister, I'll use a wooden sword too. Saying that, Su Yu picked up a wooden sword. It was at the moment when Su Yu just picked up the wooden sword. Duan Binglan attacked. Student, my move is called Obsession Slash. In Duan Binglan's hand, it was obviously a wooden sword, but countless sword shadows were drawn. This new student probably won't be able to hold on to even one move. Yeah, I'm still standing there stupidly, so I should resist. Su Yu stood where he was, and the single hook jade in his eyes was spinning rapidly. The next moment, the wooden sword in his hand began to imitate Duan Binglan's movements. At first, it seemed unfamiliar, but still parried Duan Binglan's offensive. And, more proficient. FK, what's the matter with this kid, how can he learn Duan Binglan's Obsession Slash? Look carefully, the kid's eyes are Sharingan, eyes that can greatly improve observation. Sharingan is just a support. This kid's movements can completely keep up with Duan Binglan's speed. This new student is too evil. Accompanied, Duan Binglan couldn't attack for a long time. She also felt depressed. Immediately, she took a step back. The wooden sword in his hand was placed at his waist. Student, are you a fast learner? Then I don't know if you can learn this trick. Atomic Slash. The words just fell. A sword light came towards Su Yu. No, not one sword light, but dozens of sword lights gathered together. Tisk, it looks like Duan Binglan is going to lose this time. That kid, it's interesting. On the high platform, Li Yeshan looked at Su Yu with a playful look. This freshman is about to end. Even if he is hit by a wooden sword, his nose will be blue and his face will be swollen. That's right. Duan Binglan's Atomic Slash is the unique skill of an S-class hero atomic warrior. No matter how strong the Sharingan's observation skills are, it's impossible to see through the Atomic Slash. The older students began to gloat over Su Yu. As for Su Yu, Shan Guyu's Sharingan has greatly improved his observation skills, but there is an upper limit after all. Wanting to see through Duan Binglan's Atomic Slash and reproduce it in such a short period of time is just a dream. Forget it. Shengmin, open. Su Yu said silently in his heart. Su Yu in normal state has always maintained the state of second gate. Now, under Duan Binglan's atomic slash, the 8 inner gates in the second gate state are not enough. Su Yu's whole body emitted a faint green energy, and his limbs began to congest and turn red. At this time, Su Yu's physical fitness has reached 100 times that of ordinary people, which is the peak level of a 3-star warrior. Since you can't see through it, let's break through everything. In the match just now, Su Yu also had some understanding of Duan Binglan's strength. That is, the level of a 3-star warrior. However, Duan Binglan's internal strength is extremely weak. Far inferior to Su Yu's fully enhanced 8 inner gates. The atomic chop has arrived. Su Yu raised the wooden sword in his hand, and met Duan Binglan's sword light without any fancy moment. The wooden sword in Su Yu's hand turned into pieces of wood. But the wooden sword in Duan Binglan's hand turned into powder under Su Yu's power. In the face of absolute power, no matter how exquisite the moves are, they are useless. Under Su Yu's force, Duan Binglan took several steps back. But Su Yu still stood there. Compete with each other. I've accepted it, senior sister Duan. The old students present all looked at Su Yu blankly. Obviously, they never expected that Su Yu could explode with such power. On the high platform, a hint of surprise flashed in Li Yeshan's eyes. What is this? An unprecedented physical technique. It's so powerful, this Su Yu is getting more and more interesting. After Duan Binglan lost to Su Yu, she didn't say a word, but took a deep look at Su Yu. Then, he left the playground. That freshman won 50 credits for defeating the old student. Li Yeshan spoke at this time. Freshman, you may not understand what the credits are for. Let me tell you that everything in Yangcheng University requires credits. The opportunity to enter the forbidden area and the teachings of the strong all require credits. As a member guarding the eastern city wall, the credits of Yangcheng University can also be exchanged for the resources of the city defense army. Even, it is to exchange for treasures produced in the forbidden area. As soon as these words came out, there was a trace of surprise and excitement in the eyes of many freshmen. Li Yeshan pointed at Su Yu. He said, this freshman, the 50 credits he has obtained are enough to exchange for the opportunity to enter 5 low-level forbidden areas. In addition, credits are allowed to be traded. Trading points is allowed, which means that points can be snatched. Speaking of this, Li Yeshan sized Su Yu intentionally or unintentionally. Some old students also showed malicious eyes. Although the strength shown by Su Yu was at the level of a 3-star peak fighter, they were stunned. However, as a student of Yangcheng University, there are naturally many who have fought against fierce beasts for many years, and their strength surpasses Duan Binglan's. At this time, Su Yu has returned to the state of the second gate. Although he was able to maintain his life gate for a long time, the green energy surrounding him was too conspicuous. Li Yeshan beckoned to Su Yu. Your strength is considered the strongest among the freshmen, so you should be the freshman representative. Each grade has a representative, and as a freshman representative, you can get a reward of 30 points every month. As soon as the words came out, the old students all looked at Su Yu enviously. Su Yu frowned. In his view, such behavior is too high profile. With 50 points, he has already become a target in the eyes of some veterans. And Li Yeshan let him be the freshman representative, which is tantamount to further arousing the desire of these old students. Boy, why don't you dare to be the freshman representative? You have to be clear, since you have come to martial arts university, then you are a warrior. Warriors are never afraid of any struggle. As long as you are strong enough, no one will dare to trouble you. Under the attack of fierce beasts, how can human beings survive until today without the courage to fight? At this time, Li Yeshan's voice transmission suddenly sounded in Su Yu's ear. Only he can hear it. Su Yu looked at Li Yeshan in surprise. He didn't expect Li Yeshan in front of him to have such ability. At that moment, he nodded and said, okay, since the principal values me, then I will be the freshman representative. Su Yu just finds it troublesome, but he is not afraid of struggle. With 8 inner gates, training has long been unable to improve his strength. With these points, I can explore new forbidden areas. In the eyes of those old students, I am their prey, but relying on my understanding of the plot. As long as I explore a few more forbidden areas, my strength will improve rapidly. At that time, it will not be certain who is the prey. Su Yu has already understood the rules of Yangcheng University at this time. Yangcheng University never competes for struggles among students, and even encourages students to fight. From the perspective of Yangcheng University, warriors should fight for resources, opportunities, and everything. If a warrior doesn't even have the heart to fight, how can he talk about defeating a powerful beast? After Su Yu picked up the freshman representative, he left the playground. On the way to the student dormitory, Su Yu was stopped by a beautiful figure. It is that ice orchid. Student, I want to ask you to be my training partner. Duan Binglin looked at Su Yu seriously with her heroic eyes. Su Yu was slightly taken aback. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.